We apologize for the delayed start, but we are here. And as we commence today's proceedings, I wanted to update you first that if you recall, in the 11th Parliament, COSASE, while executing its mandate under the leadership of the former chairperson, now the Right Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Nkunyingi, investigation midway of some agencies, commissions and state enterprises were halted following a written directive by the Speaker of Parliament. Now, that directive was not vacated formally, much as it was not followed up by pronouncements in the House. We have realized that a number of accounting officers of some of those affected entities were still hiding under the cover of the directive by the Speaker of the 11th Parliament. Now, as a follow-up, and as leadership, we have written formally to the Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Oboth Oboth, requesting for revocation of the administrative communication restricting Park COSASE oversight mandate, and we also sought guidance on the appearance of affected entities. Of course, we cited Article 92 of the Constitution that empowers the Parliament to prescribe through rules of procedure the powers, composition, and functions of its committees. Article 163(4), which requires Parliament to consider the Auditor General's report and take appropriate action within 6 months. Article and then pursuant to Article 92 and Rule 187 of the Rules of Procedure, Public Accounts Committee COSASE is mandated to examine the reports and audited accounts of the statutory authorities, corporations, and state enterprises. And then we reminded the Speaker that the former Speaker or the Speaker of the 11th Parliament, through a letter to the Chairperson Park COSASE, stopped ongoing investigations midway committee proceedings to consider audit reports, a decision that was protested by the Chairperson as by then the Right Honourable Nkunyingi, in writing describing it as an erroneous attempt to institutionally shield from scrutiny for unknown reasons some statutory authorities, commissions, and state enterprises, which had been duly reporting to COSASE for all the previous parliaments. Of course, the entities protected within the Speaker's letter of the 11th Parliament have never appeared before any other committee over audit matters, which apparently continues to insulate some of these entities from scrutiny over audit matters. And if not corrected by the 12th Parliament, it will be in contempt of the law and the constitutional mandate of this Parliament. So, in principle, some of these entities received invitations and have been dodging or failing to attend, citing the cover of the previous directive. And so we sought, first of all, the attention of the Speaker, first of all, to revoke and reverse the erroneous administrative communication by the Speaker of the 11th Parliament as regards COSASE committee mandate and other committee mandates over statutory authorities, commissions, and state enterprises. And further, we sought guidance on how the committee should proceed with the planned interface with some of these said entities, which continue to hide under the cover of the Speaker's administrative protection and has had no engagement with the Parliament on accountability matters, at least since the 11th Parliament. So we are waiting for the response. We already served the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Leader of Government Business, the Leader of Opposition, and the Clerk to Parliament. So we shall await a response over this. Otherwise, the rules are also clear on how we can compare the attendance of these clearly known statutory authorities, commissions, and state enterprises. As a follow-up of this, we shall wait for the Speaker's guidance, but we also had the Speaker's communication while closing the retreat of accounting or of accountability committees, how he cited that some accounting officers had even started trying to run to him for cover-up and protection, and the Speaker was audible, at least when he was briefing us on that he advised all accounting officers to come and account, go to the committees and account, because the committees are under the direction and leadership of the Speaker. So we transact on behalf of Parliament of Uganda, we transact on behalf of the leadership of Parliament, both as we transact in committees, equally we transact in plenary. So I want to re-echo our stand as COSASE leadership. No entity shall remain unscrutinized over audit matters, and all accounting officers are put on notice. If we continue to receive reckless responses or no response at all, we shall be restrained and constrained to now invoke the rules that provides a clear and elaborate mandate and powers of the committee, and how we can compel the attendance of such entities or accounting officers. The good thing is that from the introduction, you could see the committee is well empowered by a team from CID, a team from the Auditor General, Accountant General, the researchers, the lawyers. So we have combed the law and the rules. We have the power, we have the mandate, and we shall insist that we reclaim the full statutory authority of COSASE over all of these entities and accounting officers, so that we assist this country on matters of accountability. I want to re-echo that we await the response of the Speaker, not because we don't know how to translate the law, but we also want his involvement in formally revoking the administrative letter that had been sent to COSASE in the 11th Parliament. Now that we are in the 12th Parliament and the Speaker committed to adherence to the rule of law, we are good to go. Away from that, I want to welcome you back from the retreat, and I want to thank Parliament of Uganda for organizing a retreat for accountability committees. Of course, we also eye similar retreats and training forums for all committees of Parliament. We have heard from a number of colleagues that they are also interested in learning more, and we want to remind Parliament, and specifically I think the Directorate of Planning, and to organize further training for all committees, not only accountability committees. Now, colleagues, in line with Rule 219 of our Rules of Procedure, the committee can co-opt a member. From the introduction, some colleagues are not members of COSASE. I think Honorable Omar already notified me. Is not a member. Is not a member of COSASE. I don't know if there's another member. And the rules provide that that a committee can opt a member for a particular purpose. I think he came to attend today's proceedings. Do we allow him? Do we allow him to attend and deliberate? Yes, yeah. The ayes have it. So you are welcome, Honorable. Yes. Yeah, but the rule 219 is specific. When you want to participate in the deliberations, I don't know whether any other committee did not specifically invoke it, but for us purposes of actually solve our report, we want to invoke it. But of course, the rule doesn't empower him to vote. It only empowers him to attend and participate in the discussion. The voting is restricted to members of the committee. As to whether it has been done by another committee, we are yet to find out. But for us, we are following the rules as they are. So you're welcome for today's engagements. You can now feel free. Colleagues, and today we are interfacing with Uganda Investment Authority. We have two entities, and later we shall interface with the Insurance Regulatory Authority. I want to welcome the team from Uganda Investment Authority. Of course, looking at your mandate, you are primarily tasked with the duty of being the primary investment and investment promotion agency. How you have done it, I don't know. But from the audit report, which we are here to now scrutinize, there are some concerning issues. There are some concerning issues, especially ranging from the industrial parks. They will never get complete. Report after report, Honorable, wait and I complete this. So you'll be next. So we hear the industrial parks are not complete. Are not complete. We are really anxious to understand what is occasioning the delay, save for what has been cited by the Auditor General in the report. I was also worried looking at your report, looking at the number of cases you have, and most of these cases are on land matters. Are you investing in disputed land? These are some of the concerning aspects of the report. Of course, you want to go into the merits of each. Then issues to do with delayed completions, and it appears a lot of these resources is borrowed money, and you're going to occasion the country a lot of payments in terms of loan repayment, interest payment, minus actual product or work on the ground. So as I welcome you, these are among the concerning issues. I don't know what Honorable Itungo wanted to add on, but I wanted to first get an opening recap from you, the overview, the overview of the entire investment authority, and then we shall go into your responses. Honorable Itungo, you had something again?
Not Itungo, Honorable Chair.
Hey, Honorable Nangoli, sorry.
You know, he was also a very common person. So, Honorable Chair, you have alluded to the point. For me, my point of concern is that through you, I wanted the Director General of Uganda Investment Authority in less than 3 minutes to take us through about the core mandate of the Uganda Investment Authority, because it's not your first time that you are appearing on this committee. Last financial year, the other financial year, I was with us. Can you take us through the authority's core mandate, where you were when you appeared at that time, where you are right now in terms of audit reports, and where we are going? Because most of this, I've seen also Chair here, I've just received again updated responses. Before that, I got one. I have now so far about 3. I don't know which is
that one is dated which day?
This one is not even dated, Chair.
Can I look at
it? Has just come to me.
Can I get a copy?
I don't know if you have a copy. It's not dated. It's not dated, so we'll give him time to summarize in less than 5 minutes.
I think what is the clerk is telling me that it's a copy on email on our WhatsApp forum. So you have it in soft copy.
It came when I'm speaking.
Now that you have the hard copy,
come, I believe, because I've not yet seen it.
I think
so. That through Chair, I'm requesting that you give him some 5 minutes to make a small presentation to us.
No, before going into the details of this, I want him to first give us an overview of Uganda Investment Authority in a few seconds. Then we shall go directly into the responses. If any member hasn't got a response, please speak a copy. Honorable Omara.
Chair, mine is different. It's more around the communication you've made.
Yes.
The communication from the Chair. I think the matter that you've raised is a serious one, and I think it is important for every agency of government to report and to account to Parliament. And of course, procedurally, I thought you were very polite and diplomatic in the way you communicate regarding the entities, and for the Speaker to respond. But I don't know whether it would do any harm to know who these entities are, or is something that is for the future we can have internally discussed. Those entities that are still running around and not accounting to us, that were being shielded. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Of course, COSASE was by then investigating, I think, microfinance support center, but the communication involved several other entities. It was a written communication from the Speaker to the Chair as by then, but I think that will be a detailed discussion for another day. The Speaker has the copy. If the Speaker says the copy is lost, we shall present the copy of that questionable directive. But for now, I wanted to put the committee members on notice that at least we are, as a spirited accountability committee, we shall be assertive on our powers. And even when we write the Speaker, we refer to the law. To the law. For example, this particular entity which they were investigating has not only appeared, it hasn't appeared anywhere. Yes.
While it is good for us to refer to that bureaucracy, and I really want to thank you for considering threat to the speaker. But in the last plenary we were in, I noticed that business was being reinstated, including this. Were those instructions of the previous speaker also reinstated, because they should have ended with her parliament?
Yeah, ordinarily, this is the 12th Parliament. Only that the directive was on record, and most of the accounting officers haven't changed it. So when they are responding, some still want to hide under the cover that the speaker directed us to go here, go. Some even want to choose where to go, where to account to. Some are even quoting sectoral committees, whereas these are audit matters, which are only within the mandate of accountability committees. So it is a very, very concerning aspect. But now that we have written to the Speaker, we hope that the Speaker of Parliament will respond and will take this matter as an emergency, because these reports were restated, and we have received the audit reports. So we have received as COSASE the Auditor General's reports for all these entities. All what we are tussling out is to lift the veil for those accounting officers who continue to still hide under the cover of the Speaker. We want the Speaker to be on record, to pronounce himself as the new leadership. We don't want to hold them in contempt, but we want them to pronounce themselves. But needless to say, and as I mentioned in our first meeting, even parliamentary commission was summoned to appear before COSASE. And we had to engage an oversight. We had an oversight as our inaugural program. But the accounting office of Parliament, who is the clerk, had the courtesy to write back to us and request for some more time for the commission to first constitute itself, have their meeting, have their oversight, so that by the time we engage them, they have also appreciated the progress on ground. But that courtesy of writing back is highly recommended. Now, some of these entities these entities, when summoned, don't want to attend, but they don't communicate. But there are some which even wrote back, citing that particular directive. But we are just being polite not to expose that for now. But we have our records firm. So I want to thank you, colleagues, for appreciating that stand we have as leaders, as the committee leadership. We shall wait for the Speaker's response. But in any event that it delays, for us, we shall proceed under the rules. Because we are just being trying to follow the bureaucracy of leadership of Parliament. But we are also aware that since Parliament already sent these audit reports to us, we shall proceed within the rules to drag that and enforce the attendance of whoever is summoned. At least if the response delays, and even if the Speaker was to agree with the former Speaker, we shall challenge legally that position, because we have assembled the legal grounds. A statutory authority is clearly defined within the law. A commission is clearly defined within the law, and the statutory enterprise is clearly defined. You cannot now innovate within the meaning of the law to try and safeguard an entity for unknown reasons. We shall insist on what is right and what is just. I hope we are good to go. Honorable Musi, you had something before the team from Investment Authority answers, or gives us an overview of the entity.
Thank you, Chair, and of course I also add my voice to welcome the team, which is here to answer a few queries. And yes, as we expectantly await, noting that maybe some of them have been overtaken by events, the reason why my colleagues are getting, just like me, several replies and responses is because of the reinstated business. But mine, in the case of your overview, and I know it might even come up, Chair mentioned about the issues of the court cases, which are quite many. Of course, many of them you are defendants. So you may need to give some emphasis on those issues. Is it a problem of diligence at the time of purchase? Is it a problem of fraud on people who come and settle onto the land eventually? Well, the cases seem to be quite many, and whether throw some light on whether there is some bit of settlement or are we settling through mediation? Are we having them? What are our chances, especially in the where we are standing? If you buy land which is unencumbered square miles, and years later someone comes and settles on the land, are there some common threads that these people connive and then they come and build a toilet onto the land and then they claim their squatters? There's some concerning issue. Then secondly, it's the issue of the untitled land. I think that is owned by the authority. You may need to throw some clarification. It was a query, but I think you need to clarify on some big chunk of land, I think 41 square miles, which is not titled. Has there been any progress to date from the time the audit was done? What is the progress, and where are we standing regarding the security of that land, given that the issues we are battling with are court cases regarding land? So if we have even untitled land, it leaves the authority in a very frisky situation where we'll be talking about court cases 6 years from now regarding this very land. Then lastly, on the issues of the failure by the investors to develop allocated land, especially after the threshold that is given in the investment guidelines of 18 months has elapsed. What post-allocation oversight has been done by authority to see that that issue is strengthened, such that you don't, where these people get land and then it's undeveloped for years and maybe to the detriment of other people who may want to develop the particular land. So that DG, those are some of the few things that I thought would emphasize on in your analysis, but we welcome you. And of course, like Chair said, ours is accountability in accordance to the law. Thank you.
And maybe for guidance as you respond, some of the issues raised by Honorable Musi are very substantive, and they may form part of your response. However, when you are giving an overview, you can touch those which are general, and then those which are within the response, we shall proceed to the response, and you answer them within, so that we have a wide engagement of even members.
Yeah, that's what. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and the honorable members of Parliament. Really, on behalf of Uganda Investment Authority.
Is he audible?
Can you hear me?
Technical, please, can assist.
I think maybe.
Can assist to pull it closer. We have no.
Is that better? I hope it's better, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I want to thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members. Extend my appreciation for the oversight by this committee, the guidance and the constructive recommendations. Mr. Chairman, we have been appearing before this committee. And Mr. Chairman, when you talked about the overview of the mandate of Uganda Investment Authority, we are charged to coordinate, encourage, and promote and facilitate investments in Uganda, advise government on investment policies, and advocate for a competitive business environment, Mr. Chairman. And of course, our core responsibilities are promotion and marketing, investor facilitation, Mr. Chairman, policy development, and industrial park development. Mr. Chairman, following the previous meeting we had here, allow me to present just some key achievements following the last engagement.
When you say last meeting, which meeting?
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
the last appearance.
And with who?
The last appearance before COSASE, before your honorable committee, Mr. Chairman. So some of our key achievements since the previous COSASE engagements, Mr. Chairman, at a policy level, we have advocated for reform of the pay threshold, which informed the government's decision to approve an increased threshold from 250,000 to 35,000 shillings, effective 2026-27. Mr. Chairman, this is expected to reduce labor costs, encourage formal employment, and increase disposable income. Mr. Chairman, we also completed our strategic plan, Mr. Chairman, which is approved by the National Planning Authority in recognition of its alignment with the NDP4 priorities. In line with domestic investments, Mr. Chairman, with the domestic investment at the core of the authority's industrialization agenda, we licensed over 360 domestic investors in the last financial year, and of those, 168 projects have operationalized, investing close to 794 million US dollars. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, as part of the initiative to support domestic investors in transitioning from traders to manufacturing, we engaged the Kikubo Traders Association, and we supported 120 local traders to transition. The support covered business facilitation, investment readiness, opportunity mapping, machinery sourcing, intellectual property, compliance, and effectiveness. To date, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, the initiative has led to licensing 14 companies, and already 4 are operational, investing just under 600,000 of their private capital into manufacturing. So we continue to work with the Kikubo traders and others to encourage them to transition. Mr. Chairman, we integrated our services with 15 ministries, departments, and agencies into the investment facilitation process, reducing the investment licensing turnaround, Mr. Chairman, to 22 hours, surpassing the 48-hour directive benchmark. Mr. Chairman, in collaboration with our missions abroad, Chair, we conducted 24 international investment missions and generated around 362 investment leads, resulting in licensing 20 companies with planned investments worth around approximately $130 million. And we expect around 3,090 jobs to be created. We also engaged 6 diaspora, we had 6 diaspora engagements and mobilized 1.2 billion in bonds. This effort was done in partnership with our missions abroad. Mr. Chairman, UIA's strategic focus on promoting and supporting domestic investments in industrial parks in Namamve is generating economic impact across sectors, including manufacturing, agro-processing, pharmaceuticals, logistics, mobility. A sample of domestic investors in Namamve and other managed parks recorded contributions of around 116 billion UGX, Uganda shillings, sorry, Mr. Chairman, increasing in financial year 2022-23, increasing to 120 billion in 23-24, and a further 160 billion in 24-25 financial years. Mr. Chairman, some of the questions that were alluded to earlier, particularly related to settlement of cases. Mr. Chairman, my legal team is here, who can give just a short brief on where we are with that, but it's also in the responses. But the major reason for that, again, is particularly on the withdrawals of land. You know, some of the investors, when we withdraw them through the set procedures, they use the provisions of court, and so we go through the court process to ensure that we defend our position. But most of the time we win the cases. The legal team will indicate that. Then, Mr. Chairman, the other issue you talked about, particularly on the industrial parks, the delay in some of them for construction. For Kapeka, we have the detailed responses here, but for Kapeka and Mbale industrial parks, for example, we depend on the government of Uganda financing, which has significantly reduced, which affects the implementation of the infrastructure project. For KIBP Namamve, we are around 78% complete. We'll give more details in the responses. And the major delay is caused by the non-approval of the wastewater treatment plant by NEMA. We expect that to be approved, and with that, we should be able to get back on schedule. So we are waiting for National Environment Management Authority, Mr. Chairman, to approve the site for the wastewater treatment plant, which will significantly accelerate the infrastructure development in Namave. But as of today, or end of last month, we are around 76% or so. The project manager will give.
When I was perusing through the report, the last extension you had for Namave was 27th July 2026. The last extension.
So we have been extended the substantial completion.
Do you have a new extension?
No, we're in the same period. We have not extended again.
So by 27th July, it will be done. Namave will be done.
2027.
You have the one we have in record is 2026, which is today.
No. Mr. Chairman, the substantial completion is 30th September 2027, this financial year, sorry, 2026. And with the defects liability period included, the project will close in March 2027.
Anyway, we shall revisit this. You can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In terms of our key plans for going forward, we shall develop investment opportunities to support key investor attraction, including for domestic investors. We shall focus, Mr. Chairman, on completing our industrial park development projects. Mr. Chairman, we shall also commence the plans for development of other industrial parks in the country, financing allowing. Mr. Chairman, we shall support our investors through the one-stop center, easing business and licensing processes. Our one-stop center has all the key entities that are needed to facilitate business and investment operations. We have URA in the one-stop center, we have URSB, UNBS, NEMA, and the rest. The key idea there, Mr. Chairman, is that all investors should, both domestic and international, should get all their services in one building and be given in time to allow them to do their businesses. Mr. Chairman, we shall also continue to support our missions abroad. They are our key eyes through economic and commercial diplomacy, helping to attract international investment, but also to go ahead and support the aftercare of the investors who come to Uganda. Mr. Chairman, we shall also look at resolving investor inquiries, both for domestic and international investors through our one-stop center to ensure that those are done within stipulated timelines stated in the law. Mr. Chairman, we shall also continue to ensure that we follow the rules and procedures set out in the Public Finance Management Act in delivering our mandate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The rest, Mr. Chairman.
In your response, before you go now to the detailed response,
yes,
you talked about your legal department.
Yes, oh yes.
And because we are concerned.
Yes.
When it comes to disputes, most of these are land disputes.
Yes.
Now, it raises a concern whether you actually do due diligence before you go into the merits of the petitioners. But I don't know how your legal department function. Do you hire external lawyers? Is it in-house? Do you use the Attorney General? Maybe clarify.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a legal department in Uganda Investment Authority, and as cases, depending on the cases, we also do retain external counsel. And of course, we do, Mr. Chairman, at all times work in tandem with the Attorney General's office. With your permission, Chair, I kindly request Genevieve just give an overview of the cases as the Chairman requested.
It's true. We work on these cases together with the Attorney General and external counsel that are retained, depending on the circumstances of each case. So for the majority of the cases, as you rightly noted, they're mostly land disputes. And most of the land disputes concern lands that were allocated in the industrial parks. And of course, most of the claimants or plaintiffs are the investors who were allocated land. Some of them are not actually our investors. Some of them may be people that are claiming land in the industrial park. So from our observations, what we have noted, the facts, some of them are very similar. There is a very consistent account of how land was given to investment authority by the degazettement of Namave forest area. When that land was given to Uganda Investment Authority, that was around 1997, between 1997 and 2021. Now, subsequently, between 2021 and 2013, I would say, some of these lands were allocated to other people by Mukono District Land Board. As we know, Namave land area is within Mukono jurisdiction. So there is this clash between the district and then Uganda Investment Authority. So there are two bodies that seemingly are allocating land to people. So most of these lands, someone will come and say, I have a title from Mukono District Land Board. And then UIA is saying, no, this is statutorily given to UIA. This is an investment park. You cannot be having a different title given to you by Mukono District Land Board. And so that's really usually the genesis and the clash in most of these cases. UIA took action and identified some of these titles that were overlapping into the industrial park from persons who claim to have gotten them from Mukono District Land Board, leases that is. So
all these are raising issues of due diligence. Do you research on this land before and advise the investment authority, Uganda Investment Authority? Is your team well constituted? Because now, to avoid these irregularities and discrepancies and disputes, you must do due diligence before acquisition or before allocation. Do you allocate without certainty? Do you acquire without certainty? Before you choose the district land board and others, we want to understand how you operate, you as the legal department. What do you do? And did you do due diligence on most of this? If we lift our understanding and we do a background check, will you be innocent as you sound? What do you, respond?
Chair, can I provide a kind of a general question to her, if it is okay? Chair, what I'm seeing here, it's lack of inter-ministerial coordination, because the gazettement of industrial parks comes through a government instrument, and it is well provided for, empowered to Uganda Investment Authority. When a land is gazetted for industrial park, all instruments are made and given under your ministry or to Uganda Investment Authority. How come another arm of government called local government would come again and create contradictions when government has a very clear policy? Would you want to give us how the working relationship between Uganda Investment Authority and, of course, the Minister of Local Government that supervises the local authorities, or even KCCA in case of Kampala? And then secondly, Chair, we would want to actually know the investment policy regarding this land that you people do, because the contradiction the chairman is talking about, litigation coming from investors come, and then you guys go to court over certain issues. What is our investment policy? If we secure an industrial park and an investor comes, apart from DG, apart from licenses that they have to pay ETC, do we hold them to anything? Do we buy in equity into their companies, or we just simply say, here is land well prepared by us, there is water, there's electricity, there are roads, come put your money and take action. Otherwise, there shouldn't be any legal issues with the investees who come to an industrial park. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. In of due diligence, before the UIA allocates this land, does it do the due diligence on the land it's going to allocate? Equally, does it do due diligence on the company or proposed company that they are going to allocate the land to? Because so often a time we have seen that acres and acres of land or square miles are allocated to companies, but they virtually don't utilize these lands, and if you want to evict them, they end up in court. Because they say in the first place, you gave us this land, you wanted us to invest on it, we have not invested. The fault could be on their part, but because you took them on, you end up in court. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, I don't know whether senior legal officer or whatever her title is taking us, giving us an overview in a blanket form. Could she go?
But I think we need to be certain.
Yes.
Are you the legal officer for Uganda Investment Authority?
She should, Mr. Chairman.
Let's correct this. Are you the legal officer?
Yes, Chair. I introduced myself as a senior legal officer, UIA.
So you head the department?
No. I'm here in my capacity representing the corporation secretary and director legal, who is away right now.
So the corporation secretary and the director legal?
She is the same person.
The same person.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just she holds both roles. Yes.
Okay. Honorable.
So is she in position to answer these questions, or we can exonerate her from this? Because I was interested in the number of cases that UIA is handling, what is the status, and then what are the chances, likely chances of either success or failure? Because we are looking at these things in the interest of the public. Thank you.
Actually, if you look at page 50, it is from page 50 to page 55, you can see a list of cases and their status. All we need to also understand if these are the only cases or there are others. These are the ones which are reported for the year ending 30th June 2025. Now, legal head, are these the only cases or there are others?
You give us the.
Do you have a copy of this?
No, I don't. I'd like
Please, some.
I think, Chair, just 1 minute, Chair.
Let her first pronounce herself on that. Get a copy. You have from page 50. I hope you also noted the other questions. From 50 to 55, to page 55. And if these are not the only ones, you need to update us in writing. Or yes?
Mr. Chairman, could
Yes.
I kindly request that just after this, she can put that full update for you, Mr. Chairman, on all the cases that we've got, the current status, and submit it before close of business today.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
So you're going to put it in writing and submit through the director to our secretariat. Now proceed to answer the other questions.
All right. Thank you, Chair.
Due diligence was done, land given to UIA. Now, subsequently, there were issues of titles being printed or overlapping on that land that had been gazetted to UIA. Number 3, collectively,
By printed, you mean by
But
the Minister of
issued.
Lands?
Influenced by any other party. It could be
Be specific. We are dealing with Uganda Investment Authority.
Mukono Land Board. I'm now specific on everything.
Yes.
Collectively, set the record right. We took up this matter with the Commissioner Land Registration to correct the record by cancelling the titles. We went through a normal process, advertisement, calling parties, and correcting the register. So I think that is part of the diligence question you are asking. Thank you, Chair.
With that share, do they still have a claim or they abandon it after cancellation?
Now they have the right to any claim if they go to courts of law. But for us, as far as we are concerned, we have corrected the register through the normal legal process.
When was that done?
When was the register corrected? Nagasha, we can provide that evidence.
Yes, it was corrected in March 2026.
So it is recent.
Yes.
And so, Mr.
But
Chairman.
the whole process started in 2018.
Okay.
The whole process of cancellation started in 2018.
So, Chair,
Yes.
most of those cases, particularly in Namamve, are also attached to the titles that were cancelled. So those parties whose titles were cancelled also have gone to court to claim their right. But those were illegal titles issued by Mukono, which we went through the process to cancel. So that attracts a few cases. Thank you.
Okay. And now going forward, how do you conduct your due diligence? Now that we are here, so many cases arising out of similar facts. How has the investment authority improved in your prior conduct of due diligence?
Thank you, Chair. Now, we have an industrial parks development department that carries out boundary opening, surveys, and all these, the due diligence on ground. I'll let our Director Lands Department speak more to that.
Chair.
No, you ask the director.
Chair.
Sorry.
That's okay. Mr. Chairman, let the Deputy Director General, who supervises the land entity, answer that question.
UAE has a directorate of lands, directly supervised by the director here. We have elaborate checklist. Before we undertake any acquisition, we have a checklist that specifies first, do a search to establish the actual owner. After the search, we go on the ground to verify physically. And that process goes through boundary openings, which is done by surveyors. We have internal surveyors, even herself is a surveyor. After the boundary opening, then we provide a report that guides the acquisition process. But then after the acquisition, we put boundary markers and posts to notify the public that this is owned by UIA. So the detailed process is available for your attention in case you need it.
Maybe lastly on that, assist us understand, how is it possible that you allocate an investor land and then the investor sues you? You are taken to court by the same investor you gave land. What happens? What is the normal cause of this occurrence?
Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, in addition, after that elaborate explanation, then how do you allocate? First of all, how do you acquire untitled land? And then you go ahead to allocate the same.
Maybe you answer those and we move.
Yes.
We move to the response.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
On the same line.
Let him first answer.
Thank you.
Then you make a rejoinder maybe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do not acquire untitled land because we recently, around three years ago, we went around the country requesting for land for industrialization, which many local governments did provide to Uganda Investment Authority. But following that, now we have to go through the due diligence of ensuring that we title the land and secure the land, which costs a lot of money. And that's also part of the, we have been appearing before the Finance Committee, this committee before on the same, to give us the money to ensure that we secure that land, get the title, open the boundaries, and put at least border markers around that land. So, but we do not have not been giving land for land that is not under our names. Now, the specific question you asked, where an investor, yes, he's been given the land, and then the same person coming to sue us.
Yes, because it's very, very concerning.
Yes, there are key development milestones once you're given our land. The initial lease is for 5 years. Within the first year, you should have at least prepared the land. If in Namave's case, you do backfilling and the rest, fenced that land. Within that first year, if you've not done anything, then you can be given a withdrawal notice or land removed from you. The same person, the same entities normally go to court for that. They use the legal avenues available to them. So the reason now why sometimes our investors do maybe sometimes go to court is because we are enforcing the development timelines that they are not meeting on the ground. In some cases, we have withdrawn and given it to another entity who actually does the work.
So you are saying that there are these investors who normally take you to court after getting allocation, fail to comply with the conditions.
Yes.
Now, our question would be, who assesses the competence of an investor before you allocate that investor land? Because if the investor met the conditions before allocation, that investor would ordinarily execute the terms of the allocation.
Absolutely.
Where is the failure?
Mr. Chairman, when you apply for land, you have to have, first of all, your UIA investment license, which we give you, that is free. Then, Mr. Chairman, you give us your business plan and evidence that you have financing to do the work on the ground, to build the industry in this case. And that evidence is from the banks. And we do our due diligence to check that this financing is actually available. So based on that, we give them with development timelines for that. But sometimes, of course, for example, we have quite a number of investors who are affected during the COVID time. They did have the money before, but COVID hit and they could not develop. We, of course, gave them a further grace period, but still, if they do not develop, we then invoke the withdrawal mechanisms for that. So, Chair, sometimes definitely we depend on our due diligence to ensure they have the financing and the capacity to develop. Now, in the implementation of those projects, some of the investors get challenges. We try to work with them, but of course, at the end of the day, we want the factory in the land, then we can start withdrawal procedures. Hence the reason for the court cases, some of them.
So going forward, have you developed a system on how you can effectively ensure that every investor allocated land actually has capacity and preparedness to meet the conditions?
Yes, Chair. One, we are developing what we call the digital investment management system.
The what?
Digital investment management system, which gives real-time, first of all, alerts to the investor that at this point these are your development timelines you have to meet. Then secondly, we are working very much in concert with the development banks or the banks that do provide them financing to ensure that we also work with them. Because I don't think it's very logical. An investor comes, he might also have problems in the bank. Why can't we, part of our role is related to facilitation of these entities to survive. We also are engaging more with the banks to support our investors in the industrial parks. But we will continue, Mr. Chairman, to ensure that once we have verified that you have the financing to do the work, that we continue to help you, support you. In other words, the aftercare is being strengthened for that.
We also hear reports of some wise men and women in town. They masquerade as investors. They come and I don't know how they acquire land from investment authority. Then they look for buyers. I don't know if you have heard of that. They look for buyers. You hear someone selling Uganda Investment Authority land that I acquired this, I'm selling. They sell at a better price because maybe they can acquire from you at a good price or at good terms. Have you heard of it and what have you done?
Mr. Chairman,
you wanted to add? Yes, Honorable.
Chairman, in addition, some of them, where it's allocated, come and put up a mean structure, we call it a toilet or structure, any structure, for a few years as they benefit from the incentives. So they are operating from different areas, but they acquire this land for purposes of benefiting from the incentives. So once the time for the incentives elapse, then the land is undeveloped. So any measures to curb those? Thank you.
Let's get them at once, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not yet convinced. How is your compliance with the Section 59 of the Land Act, Cap 227?
What does it say, Honorable?
Their compliance of
They have
land
no
Act.
copy.
Yes. Maybe
You read for them.
Do you have it there?
If you have, you can read.
Okay, as you check it, let's go to the other.
Yeah.
Yes? Honorable
Give me
Secretary.
the opinion, Mr. Chairman.
As is
Mr.
changing.
Chairman, mine I was waiting for, because honestly, Mr. Chairman, when you gave the DG the opportunity, he did not summarize, he did not actually answer my question as per, I can call it guidance, because I was very clear.
I think he's going to
These
answer.
are critical issues, but when he started, it's like he was appearing before the sector committee, the way he was giving an update. And yet this is an accountability committee. I expected him to summarize for us these issues. What is the current status? What have they done? Because remember, we are now in another financial year. We are supposed to look at these audit reports from January this year to June this year. But now we're in July. I expected him to give us the current status, because I believe even the Auditor General is already at the entity auditing for this financial year. So I expected him to give us the current update. What is the status as of now? If you're talking about land, what have you done? Because these are matters that were brought before you during the management exit meeting. You could have worked on them, or you have not worked on them.
Well captured, Honorable Secretary. Honorable, if you get the section or article, you notify me.
Chair, thank you. Chair, on the same, it is also alleged that the insiders within, they work with other people so that they syndicate after getting what will happen or what will take place in the near future. They take advantage. After that, they know that we are going to use this as they are advised by insiders to move so that they can benefit from both sides. Chair, I also have something here which is bothering me. Is it a practice that for accountability issues, people draw thin figures so that we cannot read them? Because when you read here, even if you have specs and word, you find it hard even to read a line. I can also be especially on matters relating to accountability. I thank you.
Yes, well captured.
Chairman.
Yes, Honorable.
Chairman, I think to address the Honorable Nangoli's issue, maybe we shall go these issues one by one.
Yeah, we are going.
We go into the substantive matters.
Yeah, let's first sort this one out.
Give
Then
him the opportunity.
you start
Let
on the
him
response.
finish, then we can.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the Director General, about the strategy on how to manage, because you've talked of the digital strategy that you're implementing now or that you're working upon. I'm wondering, how is it going to be different from the former strategy that you've been using before you're taken to court? Because the way I see, it is the same way you're going to report to each other, or the way you're going to be informed about how to manage the issue of the investors not reporting you to court. So I'm wondering, what is the difference between the former strategy and the current strategy that you're implementing right now? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I think now you have the quick one.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. Mine is just related to the same issue of investors getting the lease but then fail to develop and then end up going to court. I just wanted to seek clarification if there's detailed memorandum of understanding that they sign with UIA to explicitly explain areas of default and what the penalty can be. Thank you.
Yes. Now, respond to this and then we proceed to the responses.
The what you alluded to, Mr. Chairman, and what the Honorable also alluded to, where people conspire outside. I also want to also make it clear here that the public should know that land in our industrial parks is free to the investor. So if any entity within UIA or outside is purporting to sell your land, it is not. You are wasting your money, basically. Then also, in terms of Honorable, what you talked about, some of these entities, getting land, but then taking advantage of the incentives. Mr. Chairman, that's now why. Yes, and Mr. Chairman, that's why now the implementation of the withdrawal is very critical. Even if you put a small structure like a toilet in the park, but if you have not developed within the lease agreement timelines, then we can withdraw it. So, Mr. Chairman, one way to do that.
Is perimeter wall part of the developments? Raising of the perimeter wall?
No, there is, for example, within the first year, you have to have secured your land, backfilled it. So part of it, of course, you secure it by fencing the land. So it's important that you do. Each one that is within the park does that. So, Mr. Chairman, following to you especially.
I am Senteza Salongo.
Oh,
Whichever
yes.
is easier for you.
Honorable Salongo?
Yes.
Yes. Honorable Senteza, yes. It is really to continue to be supported and to fully implement the withdrawal procedures. All these that are having land in the park and just holding it for the reasons you talk about, we need to ensure that we quickly ensure that they are withdrawn from the land. And to your question on is there a detailed MOU or a detailed, there's a very clear lease agreement that is signed, which is first approved by the Solicitor General before we give the entity to sign it, and they have to give us a performance bond based on once you get the lease, which we can also call on to when they don't develop their land. So the development timelines and covenants are very clear, stipulated what you should do in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and by the 5th year, you should be fully operational in our park. And we can maybe call on to the withdrawal mechanisms in that period if you don't develop the land, Mr. Chairman. The other question was, Mr. Chairman, on the land Cap 59, 59 Land Act Cap 22.7. Because I wanted to know the detail a little bit.
Maybe you can summarize. What is the article you want to say? What exactly do you want them to comply with?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, it gives guidance on how to acquire land and maybe its allocation. How do they comply with it?
Mr. Chairman, if it is, I don't know the exact wording, nomenclature in that, but when we are doing the acquisition of land, we work very much in concert with the Commission on Land Registration, that's the Ministry of Lands and Housing and Urban Development. So in all the searches, in all the valuation of the land, ensuring that it is not in a ecologically vulnerable areas or not in a forest reserve, no settlements, such in the titles, that we do with the Commissioner Land Registration and Commissioner Surveys. Then following that, we then write to the Chief Government Valuer in case we are going to acquire land to give us a value, and then we advise the Ministry of Finance to support us in that way. So in terms of acquisition of land, all the technical areas related to that, we work, and Ministry of Lands is in our one-stop center, so we work in concert with the ministry. And then before we go ahead to do any purchase, we then get it cleared by the Solicitor General before we request the Ministry of Finance to support us. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, now you go to the responses.
Mr. Chair,
let's move.
I have only one question.
It's a quick one?
Yeah, it's a very quick one.
Yeah, summary.
Mr. DG, you have many cases in court. Have you managed to win any?
Mr. Chairman, I believe we even have a very good record on the winning of our cases. I believe it is Genevieve. What is the
You can
percentage?
give us DG, you can, as a Mr. Chairman, guide.
I think in the response, in the detailed response of the cases, we also provide the status.
Yes.
Which one are pending, any concluded case, and the results. We don't want to predict.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just to tell you, most of the cases we do win because of the clear breach from the investors in terms of development. But we shall give you the details, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Proceed with the responses now to the Auditor General's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did send the responses earlier to.
We have so many documents of yours. We have one dated. Which one are you using?
This one which has just come, it has no date.
Does it cover everything?
No, Mr. Chairman, that's the one we submitted earlier last week to your clerk, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Chairman, before you have the responses to the report of the Auditor General on financial statements for UIA as for the audit year December 2025. Audit observation 1.1, emphasis of matter disclosed in the financial statements is land worth 454.4 billion recorded as at historical cost. Notably, the land has not been revalued for a decade. Continued use of outdated valuation renders the report figure unreliable and it does not reflect the current fair value of the land as an asset. The recommendation, Mr. Chairman, I seek your indulgence. Should I read everything or just the response?
Read
the response.
The response.
The response directly. Thank you, Chairman. Honorable members. So in our response, Uganda Investment Authority wrote to the Chief Government Valuer the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development to undertake a revaluation of land in the industrial parks for which land titles have been secured. The valuation of Namave Industrial Park is currently in progress and the valuation report is expected in the second quarter. The reported land value of approximately 454 billion is based on the historical cost. This with the last valuation undertaken in 2018. UIA has made significant progress in mobilizing approximately 89 square miles of land across the country for the development of industrial parks. The authority is undertaking necessary processes to secure the land secure titles for the remaining land, subject to availability of resources. We have requested Minister of Finance severally to give us this money. Upon completion of titling and valuation processes, the full value of the strategic land assets will be reflected in the authority's asset portfolio.
So at what stage is titling?
At what stage? Because for the new land that we acquired, we have not yet got the money for surveying, the money for boundary opening, and of course securing the land. So, but the Chief Government Valuer is already for the lands that we have titles already doing the valuation for that, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman.
Chair.
Can we react issue by issue? This matter, number one, is the most significant of all matters in this presentation because it accounts for about 90% of the balance sheet of Uganda Investment Authority. Now, I'm happy the accountant is here, Madam Munawira, I think. I'm happy she's here. You have emphasized that you need to value land only after acquiring titles. Now, the first question is the 426 billion worth of land that you have recorded at historical cost. Is it only that one which has titles or the land, even that without titles? Okay, first answer that.
Thank you, Honorable. The one we have reported is specifically the land we have titles, because you cannot because ownership of land is by having a title. So
Okay.
what we have disclosed is for the land which we have secured and we have titles and it is the names of UIA.
Okay, thank you. Now, the next issue is, for the one which is not titled, is it under your control or not? The one which is not titled.
I think the better question would be, are you in occupation?
Occupation, yes.
And
Possession.
possession of the untitled land?
Mr. Chairman, no. But most of this land is given to us by the local governments. So we are working very much in concert with the leadership of the local governments who are looking after that land for us until we get the money to be able to value it. I mean, to open the boundaries and secure the title.
Are there squatters known to you or it is vacant?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot answer that, but the chances are that some of them could have squatters. Yes.
Okay, now, the next issue is,
Hey.
I'd not completed. I'd not completed. It is a sequence.
What about the last one?
Okay, it is a sequence to bring the argument that you actually deserve a qualified opinion, because based on, Madam must be knowing what we call International Accounting Standard number 40. Okay, it talks of investment property. Now, the land you have currently is an investment property. Investment property is property you hold for capital appreciation or rental income for your earning, so it is an investment property. If you don't revalue annually, then you misstate your figures. Currently, you have land valued at 426, but that is not the true value of land. Meaning, the financial report you have given us of 426 billion is not a true picture of the real assets of Uganda Investment Authority. So, by failing to comply with that standard alone, makes this report qualified report. The next matter, when you look at the cash flow, look at the cash flow of your report, page, it is on page.
Honorable, since you are classifying the report, where is the Auditor General's team?
I wanted.
Did you consider this as you audited Uganda Investment Authority beyond the record? What? Let's hear from the auditors.
We took note of this and we put it in our emphasis of matter.
You put it
in emphasis of matter in our report.
Which page?
The first paragraph.
The first paragraph.
Yes.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
This is the very matter I also wanted to emphasize. For the record, I'm Dr. Batua Timothy Rusala. I represent Ginger Southwest, and I'm a member of this committee. Now, the emphasis of the matter on page 1, the Auditor General says, without qualifying my opinion, I draw attention to the following matters disclosed in the financial statements. To me, I think is giving an unqualified report. That statement means that the report given to Uganda Investment Authority is actually an unqualified report, a clean sheet.
Yes.
But when you look at the policies, the Uganda Public Finance Management Policies, specifically Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and the Treasury Instructions, asset management policies and guidelines, you're supposed to do routine evaluation for these assets that you keep, that are audited regularly, at least every 3 to 5 years. Now, when it is disclosed on the very first page that these assets have taken more than 10 years without re-evaluation, and we know the rate at which land in Uganda appreciates, these figures that are disclosed are material. There is need to actually declare this report to be qualified I don't know whether you also share the same opinion. You get it? Eh?
The auditor is there.
Because there is a lot that has not been disclosed
we are not
to us.
auditors, we
The
are-
asset of Uganda Investment Authority has been severely undervalued.
Actually,
You get it? Whether it is deliberate or not, we do not know, but that we can find out. But what we are looking at is far much less than what we should see. You get it? And these are the discussions we are going to have while report writing. So it is only fair when we share our mind with yours and we get a point at which we converge and see whether we are looking at these things the same way, because the qualified report has an implication on the management. So it should not come unfairly, but it should be objective.
Yes.
Do you have records asking the government valuer to come and revalue and maybe fail? Is the failure on your side or is on the other side? You get it? So these are some of the facts that did come to surface. And we'll see where we should put the rope.
Let's conclude on that.
Chair, just additional
Director General, what is your position?
Thank you, honorable members, for your points. Mr. Chairman, our position is we have severally requested for financing to be able to do this from the Ministry of Finance. Every year, I've been here 5 years, every year our reports to the Finance Committee, our correspondences with Ministry of Finance, please give us the budget to revalue our land. We are happy that they sent us some money last year and we've started. There's already ongoing valuation being done in Namave and some of the lands that we have titling. So also based on the first quarter release, we also allocated some money in the first quarter release of this year, particularly on the...
When you say some money, maybe we wish to learn. What is some money?
Only 40 million, because that's what we had. So we within our budget...
To revalue?
No, for titling.
For titling?
Yes.
You want to first title, then do valuation?
We want to title the land, yes. The one that was offered to us. Yes, the new land that was offered to us by local governments, we want to complete the titling process, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Honorable Chairman.
Now, because there are two issues. For those with the titles, do you have the current value?
And all of them, they have titles. That was my first question. She confirmed.
What is your order?
Colleague, in order to take just overtaking over the floor without your guidance is in order.
I
think both of you are not in order because you also took over the floor, but all of your points and all your concerns are very relevant. So I will allow all. Maybe you go through the chair.
Okay.
So that you are not out of order.
Okay, Chair.
You also don't bang at the table.
Okay. Chair, let me now finalize, Chairman.
Yes.
Now, I want to finalize like this. The purpose of financial reports is for decision making. Now, if the numbers are not correct, it means whoever will rely on this report for the decision making, it may be a lender, it may be an investor who is trying to evaluate you, you will make a wrong decision. So, qualification is to alert the decision maker that as you read this, you must be aware that things may not be correct. Now, I also want to know, the land value decreased from if you look at 2024, you had 454 billion. Then it moved to 426 billion in 2025. Meaning, either you did a disposal or whatever happened. Did you do a disposal of 27 billion? There's a reduction in the value of land of 27 billion. What happened?
Yes.
Chair, this discussion is very rich and it is going to help us to make very important decisions. Now, Uganda Investment Authority is a government entity. It's not a private organization. If it was a private organization, this report would definitely be qualified. But here I see their dilemma. You see, for 5 years, you make a request to the Minister of Finance to make available resources for you to value land, because this is government, and this is a government entity representing us. So our failure to provide money in time to do this very important work is also an indictment. So the finance committee, even as we go into the next budget cycle, this is a very important takeaway from COSASE, that if government is owning land and it's taken 10 years without revaluation, it's not a good thing. And the finance committee needs to take this thing up and then ensure that Uganda Investment Authority, for all times, have sufficient money to protect us.
Maybe
this thing. Yeah.
Maybe Director.
Maybe I also...
wait, Director. This land referred to in Bullet 1, your response was rotating around titling and then valuation. Now, is it the untitled land or titled land in your understanding of this bulletin?
The titled one.
This is titled one, which require reevaluation. What steps have you taken now that you have some money?
The chief government valuer, for example, with the money that we had from last quarter, is already starting the re-evaluation for some of the land, including Namamve Industrial Park. So we already took steps. Of course, the chief government valuer also gets financial constraints to do the same job. But we have already informed him, and our teams are working closely with him to complete this valuation. We take this very seriously, and we are hoping that the financing is given to us to ensure that this is corrected.
Okay.
Chairman, can we hold them to the completion date, which is suggested?
You have a target completion date?
Because you said 2027, 2026, 2027. Would you be able to have completed the revaluation?
Or it is targeted on resources?
Mr. Chairman, we budgeted for the whole year to complete this. Yes, Mr. Chairman, we did, thank you. Mr. Chairman, we did budget for it, for this financial year. So hopefully on releases, we should be able to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Just one, okay. Be brief.
Thank you, Chair. I've been exposed to government budgeting, Chair, and I know it is activity-based. The work plan is drawn by the investment authority. They determine where they want to put their money, except for the bits of wage. Chair, you sound busy. I'll wait for the chair because I don't want my statement to go and... the chair is very busy. Okay. So, Chair, knowing that the investment authority does its own budget, it is allocated an envelope from which it prioritizes what it wants to do, including drawing a plan. Allocating 40 million to the valuation of land and the titling of land, does it mean it is not considered a core mandate for them? Because the assurance we want to receive is that they only got salaries and 40 million. Because if the salaries is what would be the first priority, beyond salaries, what is your other priority as an entity that you only allocate 40 million out of the 16 billion to land valuation?
Maybe as you respond, we need you to share with us, share with the committee, proof of your funding requests. Yes, so that we appreciate the element of underfunding.
Yes.
And then we see how to also factor it in as we are assessing the Uganda Investment Authority. But respond to that, we have to move. Yeah, they are going to answer. Let's start with the director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We shall share the evidences of our communications with your clerk.
Maybe you are not audible.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, we shall share the evidences of our correspondences for money with your clerk.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, again on your question, Honorable Bruce, related to the allocation this quarter. That was just for the quarter, for the money that was released. A big part of the funds released to us are to cater for infrastructure development in Mbale, Kapeka, industrial parks. So we cannot use that money for valuation, for example. But Mr. Chairman, it is at the top of our agenda to allocate that money for for valuation. What was the other question, Mr. Chairman? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. And then, excuse me.
Yes. Now, during preparation of financial statements, I will start with the when we go to page 20, the very page 20 of our financial report, the very standard indicates that any figure on the face value of accounts, if it has issues on financial statement, you do a disclosure. When you go on page 20, the third paragraph, where we are talking about the asset value of financial statements, down there we are saying that UIA land has not been valued for the past 8 years due to lack of funds. Therefore, that value indicated on the face value does not reflect the market value. We even say management has continuously requested for service for money to do the valuation of land, but we have not got. However, we have now requested the chief government valuer and is doing the valuation of the land. That disclosure is to the users of financial statement, because we disclose that the value. So anybody who will be reading for decision making UIA financial reports, we have disclosed. Then secondly, we never sold the land amounting to 27 billion. When you go to the page 45, we are showing the adjustments which has taken place.
As you guided, Mr. Chairman, I'll go straight to the responses.
Yeah.
Chair. So the authority has made several submissions to the Honorable Minister of Finance. This is related to receivables. Minister of Finance Planning and Economic Development, justifying the proposed write-off of receivables. The matter is currently under consideration and the authority is awaiting further guidance from Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Mr. Chairman, due to a presidential directive, they wrote off all the premiums in charge to investors, but those are still on our books, so they need to be written off, and it is done by Parliament through the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. We continue to engage the Honourable Minister for him to bring that to Parliament for write-off. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now,
Chair, can
I also have a humble question on the concern. What is your working relationship with the State House Investment Desk? Is it the one which is influencing that so that you can be directed to work on that? How is your working relationship? Just that. State House.
Chair,
let's get all the concerns at once.
Chair, this is actually revenue foregone. We should ordinarily go to consolidated fund. The question would maybe not for the DG, but I think for the Minister of Finance. They need to have a clear-cut policy on matters such as this one, so that it comes to Parliament for parliamentary approval. You know, presidential directives happens within the ambit of law, an established law or policy guideline. So the Minister of Finance is the one now supposed to implement these things. Sometimes people go to the president and they have problems with taxes. Taxes have accumulated in billions. And then the president said, okay, we can forgive, but the Minister of Finance has to undertake that process, comes to the Committee of Parliament, through Parliament for approval for that waiver, because that is income. Otherwise, money will be lost in between. So, DG, this matter, we understand it, but I think we need an established process through the Minister of Finance. They should come to Parliament and not just hide under presidential directives.
Yes, you had a hand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. DG, President has just allocated 2 lands One in Chiruhura district, Ruhengeri, another one is in Isinjiro. Both, they have no encumbrances, neither squatters. How far have you gone? And both of them, they are for industrial parks. So, DG, how far and what is your plan? Can you tell us? Because those ones, you don't need to remove squatters, neither to pay. So, what is your plan?
I think that one takes us to a larger question of all industrial parks, the progress on all industrial parks and allocated land, especially the undisputed one. Yes.
Yeah, on the same receivables, when you look at the 2024 and 2025, the amount is almost static. It is almost 21.4 billion. Now, the presidential directive affects 19.9 billion, meaning there is 1.5 billion which is not going to be affected by the presidential directive, but it has remained static between the 2 years. How far with its collection?
That is very important. Answer it straight away.
Okay.
Where is this you relied on in your response?
Thank you, Chair and Honorable. We are doing what it takes to collect, and the last financial year, to 2025-26, we managed to collect over 800 million. Remember, UAA, the biggest revenue source was lease premiums, which was abolished. And the service charges were also abolished by the board. The only NTR we have is rent from our investors. But the challenge with that collection, first of all, with the investors, there is that misconception. When you go there, they will tell you the HE president abolished everything. Then secondly, even you who is following up that revenue, the infrastructure, we have written so many letters, even just getting these people who slash our homes, just even to slash the industrial parks. There is no allocation to maintenance. You are going to an investor looking for NTR, but you are passing in a bush. So it is a big challenge. My appeal to our government, as we are looking for NTR from these investors, let's at least do our part. That is the challenge. Thank you.
Does it answer you? Because she came up with an appeal.
But the correction she did of about 800 was actually the invoice amount. You remember during the year you invoice and also collect. But then there's this one which is coming from the previous years, because your collection was almost equal to your invoice. So
yeah. we have to move. We have to move. Yes, proceed.
Thank you for members for those questions. The next is number 1.3, the staffing gap. Mr. Chairman, the staff establishment was finalized and it was just approved this July by Ministry of Public Service. The revised structure is aligned with the operational capacity for the institution. Recruitment is starting this quarter since we just got the approval of our structure from Public Service. However, the board and management has successfully completed recruitment of 6 key staff positions at respective levels, and these include Director Investment Promotion and Business Development, Deputy Director Human Resources, Deputy Director Engineering, Senior Accountant, GIS Officer, Senior Investment Promotion Officer, our Business Development Officer, and Investment Promotion Officers, among others. This will strengthen our ability to deliver our mandate. So, Mr. Chairman, the short answer to this, Chair, is we got our staff establishment, the staff structure.
Now, when you say you completed recruitment, what are the details? Who are those recruited? Are they here?
Mr. Chairman, some here, these are all the recruitment, the new ones. They are,
yeah, because you talk of different levels.
Yes,
Director Investment and Investment Promotion and Business.
Yes, he was recruited. He's not
who is he?
training. is called Mr. Peter Muramira.
And the Deputy Director of Human Resource?
Mr. Kisembo. Deputy Director Engineering also was recruited, is on the ground. He's called Mr. Kasozi. Senior Accountant, GIS Officer. We can also, Mr. Chairman, give
Please avail us proof of this recruitment.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Can I proceed?
And do you recruit following a structure?
Yes.
Could also avail the structure.
I share that too.
In your response.
With the today with the
submitted formally.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Then the other one is after 1.3, just below it. The answer is our response is the assessment and review confirmed full compliance with compliance criteria and no material findings were identified. Mr. Chairman, I proceed?
Yeah, proceed.
Number 3.1, which is on status of implementation of the strategic plan. Management acknowledges the Auditor General's guidance and confirms that a strategic plan for financial year 25-26 to 29-30 was developed with a comprehensive monitoring and evaluation framework that clearly defines performance indicators and reporting mechanisms. The framework provides a structured approach for tracking implementation progress, assessing performance against stake targets, and promoting timely reporting and accountability. Mr. Chairman, an extract of the M&E framework is attached. Further, management undertook a comprehensive review of the previous strategic plan and identified unfunded and under-implemented activities which had been prioritized to be and incorporated in the new 5-year strategic plan. The new strategic plan is aligned to the NDP4, the 10-fold growth strategy, to ensure continuity, improved prioritization and effective implementation of the authority's strategic objectives. In addition, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, management has continued to engage Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to secure enhanced budget support to implement its strategic plan. Mr. Chairman, the One-Stop Center has also been strengthened through the development and operationalization of service level agreements with key entities, with key government agencies. The One-Stop Center front office, the One-Stop Center front office has been completed to enhance investor experience, while the digital investment management system is under development to improve efficiency, aftercare services, and transparency in investment facilitation. These measures, together with the increased budget support in financial year 26-27, will enable the authority to effectively deliver on its strategic objectives and reinforce institutional accountability. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, in a rising concern? Yes.
DG, you're supposed to be having 113 staff, but you have managed to fill the gap of 72. Simply, you're missing 46. Those gaps are not yet filled.
Honorable, where are you reading that? It was in his response or from your phone?
Mr. Chair,
give us the source.
on Auditor's General report.
There?
On Auditor General's report.
Which page?
Please, I got it somewhere. And he's aware.
Now,
Chair.
How do I direct him to the page? Huh?
Chair.
Yes, whatever.
Chair, I've seen and heard what the DG has presented, but you know, Chair, there are clear guidance on this committee, especially this accountability committee, that whatever he states must be evidence-based.
Yes.
For him to give us, I don't know whether he has come with that, whatever he's talking about, or you are going to bring it by close of business. It is through you, Chair, to guide. Because when he talks about engagement with Ministry of Finance, is it a verbal engagement or correspondences are there? That's what I expected the DG to say by close of business. So he has it right now. But it helps us when we are writing our reports.
Yes.
To base on that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you.
Which one? Oh, Uganda Investment Authority is 113. So the document has been found. Let's you record, be writing down and please be brief.
Yeah.
Engagements and undertakings. I think we have tasked him
Yes.
to give us evidence in writing.
Absolutely.
But we direct one by one. You're just raising a new one, an additional one. But at least we have already instructed the team to deliver and submit to the clerk and our secretariat. So, which document do you want? The engagement with the Minister of Finance. Honorable number, which document do you want? Also be specific.
Yeah, the DG has just presented on
You want
under
the-
item 3.1.
So,
in addition, management has continued to engage the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to secure next budgetary support to improve.
So he gives us the most immediate correspondence.
Exactly.
Yes,
The
yes.
current.
We actually even have it. Yeah,
Okay.
but we shall
So
give it
that
to the
we,
clerk.
when we go for report
You
writing,
pass over
it helps
to
us.
the clerk before, since it is available.
Much obliged.
Yeah. Yes?
Chair, stressing clearly that most of our government entities were serving at least Ugandans under particular ministries and entities. But I'm analyzing a problem that some entities are not considered either because of their reluctance or their vigilance, because whichever item DG is stressing, saying that Minister of Finance has not complied with us on this and that. We wish to know, and as the honorable colleague has stressed, that maybe for you, you are comfortable there. In your way of Uganda Investment Authority, you think everything will just work on its own. That's why I've liberty to ask, what is your working relationship with the investment desk of State House? Because there are other ministries and entities which are created to cripple other entities. Can now we, based on that, you are idle because the investment desk of State House consumed your entity?
Do you adhere to the law, or you are being directed by what he described as orders from above, State House, whatever it is? Do you follow the law, or whatever is being cited? I think that will clear the.
Mr. Chairman, I respond?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For us, Uganda Investment Authority is set up under the Investment Code Act 2019 as amended. So we implement our mandate based on the Act of Parliament. But we have we work in collaboration with all government ministries, departments, and agencies that support investors, investor facilitation, in order to ensure that investment climate of the country is positive. So in that respect, we still work with State House Investor Protection Unit in that respect. On the staffing,
Yes, why don't you recruit all the staff?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that was also part of the answers I had. We just got our staff establishment structure, the renewed structure of UIA. It was approved last week by Minister of Public Service. But we are now going to, in this quarter, fully, aggressively recruit. But in the interim, I also showed the positions that we have filled in that interim. But now that we have the approval of the Minister of Public Service, now we can go ahead and fill that structure. You talked about the lands in Chiruhura and the rest. Mr. Chairman. Yes. 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 Mr. Chairman, we have the wage for it. And we are also, the chairman directed that I also give the structure this evening.
Yes.
Which we are going to do.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman. On the lands that His Excellency allocated in Chiruhura and the rest, in Isinjiro, sorry, we'll work with again to process the title and the boundary opening and the rest. So we shall also, based on budgetary provisions, be able to title that land. But we know about it, and that is part of the land that we request that government provides us money to be able to do that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I think we want to complete that story. This is just for gratification. The staffing gap. The staff you're going to recruit is actually necessary. Are you having some challenges with understaffing? You know, want to make our report complete, such that the recruitment you're vying for is answering a certain question or deficit. So our report has no shade of information whether you're having some challenges due to understaffing.
Chair, through you, can I respond? Through you, Chair. Can I respond?
Please do.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chairman, we just also completed our strategic plan for Uganda Investment Authority for the next 5 years. And it was also based on that strategic plan that the board approved the structure that is needed to implement that strategic plan. So for us to implement it fully and to fill the structure, the staff gaps, we have to implement that structure. So it was assessed based on the requirements to deliver the new strategic plan. And we thank government for availing the wage for that. Thank you, Chair.
Now go through the other responses.
Yes, thank you,
at
Chair.
once. Then I'll get you be noting the response, the questions and concerns. I'll get them at once.
So I go through everything.
Yeah, I'm giving you for 15 minutes. Go through all the responses.
Okay, Mr.
Then we have questions at once.
Thank you, Chair. Number 3.2, management has aligned its budget targets with the strategic plan, the NDP4 and the 10-fold growth strategy under the ATM's priorities, focusing on agriculture, agro-industrialization, development of industrial parks, and investment promotion. Resources have been prioritized and allocated to support implementation of these strategic interventions, and to strengthen delivery of the authority's mandate. UIA obtained a certificate of compliance from NPA. Number 3.3, Mr. Chairman, the current strategic plan includes a robust monitoring and evaluation framework with clear objectives, outcomes, timelines, and performance indicators, covering key areas such as turnaround time for licensing, industrial park development, monitoring, and actualization of investments and job creation. 3.4, management engaged Ministry of Finance, Planning, and Economic Development to facilitate the release of external financing for implementation of the planned KIBP activities. The funds were subsequently released, enabling the progress in execution of the planned initiative interventions. The revenue estimates for the financial year 26-27 have been aligned with UIA's revenue collection capacity. The improved revenue performance has been driven by enhanced revenue strategies, strengthened supervision of revenue collection management, and rollout of the receivables module, which has enabled integration of all tenants and investors into the integrated financial management system. So all our investors are integrated into IFMS for improved tracking and management of receivables. The utilization of GOU warrants, that's 3.4.3. The budget allocations of 26-27 have been aligned with the entity's implementation capacity to ensure effective utilization of resources and achievement of planned activities or outputs. Our staff established structure has been revised to support implementation and service delivery. Under 3.5, on arrears, UIA verified domestic arrears were compiled and submitted to Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. During the financial year 25-26, domestic arrears amounting to 419 million were released and subsequently settled. The outstanding balance of approximately 1.4 billion mainly relates to rent arrears. Following the guidance of the Solicitor General, the authority was advised to defer payment pending the full determination of a matter before court. The said correspondences, Mr. Chairman, are attached. Development 3.6, the overall progress of Namamve stands at 74%. The delays in approval of the wastewater treatment site have impacted project implementation, preventing the achievement of the milestones. UIA has engaged NEMA and obtained preliminary approval to expedite the resolution of the matter. UIA, through Ministry of Finance, is continuing to engage NEMA to secure the final clearances. So NEMA we're waiting for NEMA to give us the approval of the wastewater treatment plant. 3.7, Mr. Chairman, UIA has installed boundary markers and in all titled operational industrial parks, including Namamve, Luzira, Boyogerere, Masindi, Lira, Nebi, Rukunjiri, Jinja. Additionally, border markers were installed in COSASE Industrial Park, in Kisoro Industrial Park, although the park is not operational, but at least we did do the border markers around there. Other industrial parks such as Nebi, Lira, Rukunjiri have finished surveying and border marker installation and are now completing the titling. Unallocated land, UIA has fully allocated land within the industrial parks of the industrial and agricultural parks, including Kashari, Kasese, and Soroti. Delayed implementation, number 3.8. One of the answers also is related to this. We have installed boundary markers in all titled operational industrial parks. Other industrial parks such as Nebi, Lira, and Rukunjiri, we have finished surveying and border marker installations and now processing the titles. UIA has also engaged Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to secure funding for surveying and border marker installations for the remaining lands. We have attached the evidence and we shall provide that to the clerk. And our strategic plan 2025 to 2030, the development of industrial parks has been phased to ensure orderly implementation. Under strategic plan 2530, the implementation of strategic parks has been phased to ensure systematic development. 3.8.1, that's page 8. UIA has undertaken inspections of industrial parks as part of its intensified post-allocation monitoring program to assess the progress of investor project implementation. The inspections identified key factors contributing to delay in development of allocated land, which include inadequate access to infrastructure, delays in environmental approvals such as NEMA, and the delayed cancellation of illegal titles. Investors not developing are issued with withdrawal notices. UIA is also facilitating the resolution of these challenges through the one-stop center by coordinating with relevant agencies to support investors in overcoming implementation bottlenecks and actualizing their projects. In cases where investors have failed to meet agreed implementation timelines without valid justification, UIA has taken corrective action by withdrawing the allocated land and ensure it is utilized for productive industrial development. The following measures were implemented by UIA to address investor-related challenges, including cancellation of illegal titles, which has enabled investors affected by encumbrances to proceed with the development of their allocated plots. Access challenges are being addressed through ongoing infrastructure development upgrades. In addition, UIA has embodied NEMA into the one-stop center to streamline management and resolution of environmental compliance requirements and related approval. Number 3.8.2, UIA engaged Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to secure funding for titling and infrastructure development. For financial year 25-26, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development allocated approximately 2.18 billion for this financial year 26-27, 278 billion has been budgeted for this financial year to work for infrastructure works in Kapeka, Mbale industrial parks. We have also submitted 9 infrastructure development projects to Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development Committee. These include Kisoro, River Nachivizo in Mbale, that's expansion of the river, MMP Buyikwe, Jinja Industrial Park, Soroti, Nebi, COSASE, to mention a few. Management is also engaging Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to prioritize feasibility studies for additional parks under the INVITE program. The standard industrial park infrastructure development is currently ongoing in Kampala Industrial and Business Park, Mbale Industrial Park, and Kapeka Industrial Park. U 3.8.3, UI is undertaking the development of a digital lease management and tracking system to monitor lease tenure, automate expiry notifications to facilitate timely renewal, and enforcement under the digital investor management system, which is under procurement. 3.8.4, again, the digital investment under UI is developing the digital GIS system, GIS-based lease management and tracking system to enhance land administration. The system will enable effective monitoring of land tenures, automate expiry notifications, and facilitate timely renewals and enforcement. The land administration system is one of the key deliverables under the RIP project implemented by Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. On 3.9, UI acquired a building in Mbale City for establishment of the regional center. Funding for the refurbishment of the facility has been sought from Ministry of Finance and should be done this year. Failure before for establishing regional one-stop centers was because we did not have funds for that. Mr. Chairman, on 4.0, 4.1, a budget provision has been made this financial year to facilitate the implementation of all recommendations which have been scheduled for implementation. 4.2, Mr. Chairman, the eBiz system is currently being upgraded into the digital investment management system to enhance investment facilitation through integration of advanced features, including visual project pipeline monitoring, a customer relationship management framework to track investor issues, provide timely feedback, and improved investment licensing functionalities. Again, under that, the integration of entities, agencies is ongoing through the digital investment management system. And of course, the
PG for the feedback. I just wanted clarity. I want to take you to the post-allocation scrutiny that you emphasized. I'm trying to look for the page. After allocation, because it was one of the issues that arose. I think it's on page 8. 3.8.1, failure by investors. Yes, and one of the strategies you've mentioned in enhancing post-allocation scrutiny is by the one-stop center, where you're saying that other measures to address, including by bringing on board other stakeholders, which to help. So we just wanted some evidence of that because it was a key query in the audit. Because it leads directly, it has a bearing on the brokers that arose earlier, who may be taking on the land for purposes of just offering onward brokerage, not for necessarily to develop the land. So it's quite critical that it's strictly enforced. The guidelines strictly enforced that if the land is not developed within the specified period, say 18 months, there should be taken over. So I just wanted more clarity on that, because it's one of the key issues that could be strengthened. And I strongly think it also has a bearing on one or two court cases, especially those by the investors. Yes.
Please, that is from the Vice Chair. Answer it straight away.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We shall provide, first of all, thank you for that concern. we have what we call service level agreements that have been signed by all these entities that are in the one-stop center, and we also signed a service level agreement with the NEMA that was approved by the Solicitor General. So it is ensuring that we hold these entities, and we request the support of the committee and other arms of government really to ensure that these entities meet the timelines that they have been signed to in the SLA. I believe in the service level agreement with NEMA, an investor should be given an environmental and social impact assessment within a period of 2 weeks, isn't it, in the SLA? So we have signed that with them. So the request then is that it's actually enforced by this, but we shall provide you with all the evidences for that.
But before we bombard him with this, then we usher in insurance regulatory authority. Now, I start from where? Director, record all these questions and concerns, you respond at once. I start from the extreme corner.
I also would like to commend the UIA for items 3.81, 3.82, and 3.8, sorry, 3.8.2, 3.8.1, and 3.8.4. I can attest to some of those because I am a direct beneficiary. Only and only if you can liaise with the Ministry of Finance, sorry, Ministry of Sports, because recently we were told that the road from the industrial park, that is Namave, to Joker's Hotel is under AFCON, something of that sort. It's going to be constructed by AFCON, and then you've also mentioned infrastructure development, and that's part of it. So I kindly request that you liaise with the Ministry of Sports to make it done as soon as possible. Mr. Chairman, my concern is on page 6. Item 3.7.1, or the entire cluster. There is no response on resolving disputes as were raised by the Auditor General's report. Secondly, item 3.7.3, there was an issue of unallocated land. And your response is UIA has fully allocated all the land within industrial and agricultural parks, including those 3. But when you make reference to item 1.1, you've ably notified this committee that you have made significant progress in mobilizing approximately 89 square miles of land across the country for development of industrial parks. My concerns are 2. First and foremost, you ably told this honorable committee that you have concerns as far as titling of the land and then allocation, and then you are acquiring more land. So what is the nexus between you acquiring more land, yet you have problems in managing those pieces of land? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Habiara fortunate. Building on what he has said, the DG says they have 89 square miles of land. Is this all
titled or part of it is not titled. Also on the titles which overlap, I don't know if the DG has investigated to find out. If you, for example, look at Namamve, you'll find titles which have been issued after the land has been allocated to Uganda Investment Authority. And you'll be shocked to find that a fraction of the owners of that land are either people who are employed or have been employed in Mukono land offices or IA. So have you tried to find out the ownership of these titles? It is common practice that when officials in the entities get to know that the government is allocating land for some activity, people rush faster, connive with officials of Ministry of Lands, and acquire those lands for themselves to the detriment of government. In addition to that, DG, I come from Kisoro, and the industrial park in Kisoro has been very redundant. You said, you indicated that it could be one of the priorities you are going to handle. We hope that there will be timelines so that we can hold you accountable as and when perhaps you fail. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Now, Mr. Chairman, as a COSASE, our main work is to examine numbers, audit reports. Out of 100%, 70% of our time should be on real numbers, not just these other issues you see. These are arising out of the audit, and whenever we're examining them, we should relate them to the numbers. How do they affect the financial statements? But we are making these other issues, these are just like issues out of the audit, to be the main subject of our discussion. And we have taken very little time to examine the real numbers in this financial report. Now, let me go step by step. Madam, the finance.
You assist them with the page?
Yes, I'll be mentioning.
Yeah, the page.
From my first discussion.
By Madam, you mean who?
I mean the finance director.
Yes. Okay.
Madam Finance Director, you talked about the other 27 billion. You explained it well. You said because there was some land which was not part of Uganda Investment Authority land, so you removed it. Now, I want you, when you go back, you give us a schedule of that land which was removed and the approval process you went through to get it off the register, because it was already on your register, and the policy that you rely on for disposals or how you correct your register. That is where the issue will be. Number two, there's something I read about called the Board of Survey report for all entities of government. I want you to give us the Board of Survey report for 2024, then give us the one of 2025. We shall be able to see the movement in those assets, how this land moved in 2024 to 2025. Now, page 23, there's a cash flow statement.
Let's go slow. You wanted the
Board of Survey report,
and what else?
And also the schedule of assets that were removed from the register and the approval process, how you got them off the 27 billion assets.
Have you captured them well?
Yes, Chair, I've captured them well.
Yes.
Because during preparation of financial statement, Accountant General issues guidelines, which we follow. And
Yes.
asset adjustments is centralized.
Yes.
That
We
is what
don't
you give
have
us.
roles to do anything. We give a write-up, provide the Excel receipt, and Accountant General's team, when he's in the house, they can...
That is what you are going to give us. Okay.
So you are going to
have them.
provide
Yes.
what?
I'm going to provide the asset register. These ones are just printed through the system.
Is it updated?
It is updated because the accounts are now
Not the full register. We want the ones that, the land that you removed, that makes the 27 billion, and the approval process.
No, I think can give us all, but
we are interested in the adjusted
The adjusted value.
Adjusted value.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr.
What was
Mr.
its value before?
Yeah.
What was the value after adjustment?
Mm.
And what process did you go through to cause that
That adjustment.
Yes.
Then,
Have you captured it well?
Yes.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, that is clear. We shall do it.
Okay.
okay.
Move on.
Now, when we go to number 20, page 23, when you look at your cash flow statement, there is a cash balance of 65 million as at the end of year, the net change in cash and cash equivalents. Now, when you come to your balance sheet on page 22, the cash and bank balance is 0 on your balance sheet. It has 0 balance. But when you go to your cash flow, there is a balance of 65 million as at the end of year. And this balance is supposed to be the one moving to the balance sheet. Where did it go from here? Why is it not captured in the balance sheet? Two.
Chair,
First
can I
pause.
respond to that?
Yeah, respond to that. Where did the money go?
Explain.
How much?
Yes, Chair.
How much disappeared?
No, 65.
Out of it, how much?
65.
65 million.
It has not disappeared.
Okay. Where did the 65 million go?
Chair, let's go to a cash.
Yes. Which page?
A cash flow statement. When we are preparing the cash flow statement, we have cash flows from operating, cash flows from investing, and cash flows from financing. The net increase or decrease in cash equivalents does not mean this is cash at hand. You complete the cash flow statement. When you go to page 24, it is telling you the reconciliation of movement in the cash flows. And when you go to page 24, it is showing you, even when you go to the financial statements, this was transfers to the treasury. NTR, when it is collected, we don't spend at source, we have transfers to the consolidated fund. And when it was transferred, you will see that the cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year is 0. What UIA we do, NTR is collected to our revenue collection in the Bank of Uganda. So we make sure by 30th June, we transfer all of the cash. So this was not cash at hand, but it was
Chair, some procedure matter.
Well, yes, procedure.
Yes, Chair. Given the kind of questioning which is going on, you know, when it comes to accounting or audit matters, we as Parliament, we should be guided by the report of the Auditor General. And if the Auditor General fails to identify something which has been questioned by my colleague, then they are literally not doing their job. So you can't have, how much was that, 65 million?
Yes.
Yes, it can't just disappear without Auditor General highlighting it. So we need to understand exactly what the Auditor General is raising, and that one does not stop us from asking further questions. But if there is anything of which is material in nature, should be able to come in the auditor's report. Otherwise, we are going to go back and behave like we are auditing, we are the Auditor General.
Well,
we should highlight what the Auditor General has given us so that we can move quickly. Otherwise, we are going to stay here longer.
Well,
now,
let me get like this. Let me. You are all protected. I think he's just being diligent.
Yeah,
but
let me proceed.
But if you have evidence, please present to the chair.
The Auditor General,
let the member conclude.
Yeah, the Auditor General works on behalf of Parliament. We are the alternate. So whatever they give us, we are free to even vary. Okay? So, Madam, for cash and cash equivalent at the end of the day, of course, it doesn't have to be cash at hand. It can be cash in bank, it can be anything. What you do, you get cash from operations, you get the net cash from financing, from cash, whatever, then you add and the net movement is what you add to the opening balance to get the cash at the end of the year. If there's a transfer you made and it is known, then it should also have come as part of the cash flow. You would have shown it as a reduction in your what? Cash. Maybe under operations if you transferred it to the central bank. Okay.
But would it serve us if we ask for proof that it was remitted back?
Yes, even that also is okay.
Would it serve us so that she only avail proof?
Yes, you can prove that. You can bring that.
Back?
Then there is.
Do you have such proof? So you can provide it.
Then there is a payable of 1.9 billion. Of this, I read somewhere that 1.4 billion was due. It was rent. You were supposed to pay somebody, but you did not pay because the Attorney General advised you not to pay. I think you have a case. What details of that case? Because it is a significant payment. I also know that you have what we call a development committee for Namave, which I think supervises the work that is ongoing there. There is a Namave development committee. It is supposed to do monitoring. You give us the latest report of that development committee, yes, so that we see evidence of monitoring and also the issues which they have identified in Namave. Then also, in general, your financial reports also are lacking. When you look at depreciation, for example, on page 4, page 20 what? Page 21, there's depreciation of 1.8 billion. But when you look at the asset schedule, it doesn't capture the depreciation. We don't know the depreciation rates, what you use to arrive at it. We are just seeing a block number of 1.8 billion. But when you look at the asset schedule, it doesn't show anything to know the breakdown of that. And also you have in your cash flow here, you have additions that you bought assets of 400 million, 414. But when you go to the asset schedule, you also don't see the additions in the asset what? The asset schedule. So there's an issue there. Okay? You need to improve.
Which issue now? Will it be sorted by...
The issue is this. Hey. We have an addition because the cash flow shows an outflow.
Will it be sorted if they avail us with the asset register? We assess whether they were added in total.
They need to prepare an asset schedule showing that opening cost of all the assets is this.
Yes.
These are the additions which we made during the year. This is the depreciation charge for the year. This was the accumulated depreciation for the year. And this is the net book value for the year. Okay? Then from that, of course, the auditor must have verified the additions if they happened.
Do you appreciate the question?
Yes, Honorable.
Yes. Hey, switch on.
I have appreciated it 59. It even details.
Of which document? The big one?
The very one we are using.
We have a 3. This big one?
Yes. Of the financials.
Yes.
It even shows the category, what was ICT, what was machinery.
Summary statement of stores,
yes,
and other assets, physical assets, as at the end of the year.
Shows the opening.
Where is the depreciation for the year?
There is a depreciation schedule.
I can see. So can I be getting another question as you trace the schedule? Yes. Yes. Let me as she traces the schedule. Maybe other questions are going to the director.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My concern is on 1.1. I would like UIA to provide evidence of the acquired land. And also, where is this land located? Then also, my question, the first question I asked the Director General wasn't answered, whereby I was asking, you had a previous strategy whereby you've been reported by the investors to court, you've been sued to court.
Yes.
And you were implementing another strategy which was involving the digital monitoring. So I was wondering how it would be different, because the way you elaborated, it showed that you'll be doing the same as the other analog strategy. So what is the difference between the two? Thank you very much.
I hope you have captured it. Honorable Secretary Ko, what was your issue? We proceed. No. Honorable Omala will come back to you. Maybe Honorable Zahara, you had something to add? Let me go.
She requested to know where the land is located and if it is there, has it been put to use or it is still redundant? Thank you, Chair.
By land, you mean all the land owned by Uganda Investment Authority?
Yes, Chair.
Was that your, yes?
Yes, Chair, and by the evidence, I mean the land titles. We want to have a look at them. Thank you.
I believe there's land where they have land titles and where they don't have land. I think they must also provide at least an abstract of the land without titles, but owned, procured or yet to be procured, or cleared for transfer to Uganda Investment Authority, because we need that those two categories were elaborated. Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Chair, I also need to ask DG and also to request you. You know that you're the...
But by DG you mean Director General, or he has a nickname?
DG, isn't he a Director General?
So that is the abbreviation?
Yes.
They mean you?
Yes, I mean him.
So
because he's an engine of the development of this country, especially on employment. When you are bringing in these factories, Ugandans get jobs. So please try to put those industries in place to ensure that Ugandans are employed. Please, that's my request, Mr. Chair.
So in simple terms, you want to fast track the development of these industrial parks?
Yes.
So you'll give us the status update of all these parks. Are you just naming them? Is there any development going on? And who is doing what? Who is for example, Namamve, who is developing Namamve? When we see a lot of balances here, if you are meant to pay them, do you pay the contractors, these engineers, the contractors? I heard of COSASE. What is happening in COSASE? We talked about the roads and then the other industrial parks. Update us and be on record. What is the work on the ground in these industrial parks? I think it serves to answer Honorable's concern and any impediments, if any. We may miss out some impediments, but in a situation where you have a lot of unspent balances, we need to know, is it your reluctance? Is it a question of contractors? Or you are just waiting for the future? Honorable Mara, have you reconciled with your neighbor?
My neighbor here knows. My neighbor here now he has agreed with my approach. Two issues only, and I'm going to make a rejoinder on what the chairman was talking about. Mr. Director General, you know the very many districts and municipalities donated land to Uganda Investment Authority. I recall West Nile did, Gulu, Lira, Dokolo, Soroti, and these are land for free, not for buying. Have you finally, what is the word, degazetting? I don't know whether gazetting, taking the titles, have you secured the titles? Have you got a plan for really to build the infrastructure for readiness for investments as yet? And I think that information would come handy to the directive which the chair has provided, that can we have those industrial parks? Otherwise, for us in Lira, we are now saying, should we have given it to investment authority? If the land is not developed, it's taken years now. Then the second one, Chair, is from the auditor's report, Auditor General's report on page 13. Development of infrastructure, design and build at Kampala Industrial and Business Parks. We've seen that because of extensions, the government of Uganda spent additional 4.28 billion shillings as an additional cost, because I think you did about 2 or 3 extensions. What's the cause of this? Is this a result of lack of payments by the Ministry of Finance in time, or is it a matter of inefficiencies or whatever? Because this is a cost which we could have used to maybe kickstart another industrial park. Would you want to kindly respond to that? Thank you, Chair.
Let me capture the last one. Yes, Honorable.
Appreciated your approach on page 6, and that is item 3.7, 3.71, 3.72. And I'm wondering, could you use the same approach for purposes of scrutinizing the industries or investors that you give the lands? I think this will go a long way in saving or preventing. There's so many court cases that emanate from these so-called investors who end up not utilizing the land, but again, they end up suing the investment authority for gains which are not appropriate. Just a similar approach. Now that you've used the same to curb the land issues, you can use the same for purposes of scrutinizing the investors. I think it can work and save lots of money and those endless court battles. Thank you.
Thank you. The last one from Dr.
These two are just on clarification, page 39, or maybe we start with page 21, which is the statement of financial performance. There is that expense called social benefits. It is explained by note 15, which is on page 39, if you come there with me. So from the previous year to the year under audit, it has increased 3 times. You just clarify what necessitated it to increase that way. Number 2, under note 10, page 38, accounts, you're there. We have professional services that have also increased 10 times from the previous year, between the previous year and the year under audit. Professional services. So just unpack that, because there is nowhere we can explain that in our report. However, if we were traveling from Jinja to Kampala and we expected to come by road, I discovered we came by air. When we followed, Honorable Chair, when we followed this report that, the summarized report, there were areas that were missed out. Yet when we shall be writing a report, we shall follow the Auditor General's. We shall not follow the management one. So there were areas that were missed out, and I think it would be good for the entity to avail additional information. For example, you never discussed payables. Your discussion of utilization of warrants wasn't sufficient, because in your report you discussed it in terms of aligning output-based planning and with the budget utilization. Yet the Auditor General was concerned that you were not utilizing funds. And among those is also a procurement that was not implemented, a procurement that was delayed and perhaps not implemented of 1.4. So utilization was speaking in this direction. The response we got was a different one. I request that you give us additional response, but this time you stick all your answers to the Auditor General's report, because this is what we are going to use to make a report.
Thank you. Now the written one.
Mr. Chairman, we can...
we are going to validate.
We can, as your honorable member also mentioned, if there are anything you didn't capture, we can rewrite it and send back to you.
So you are committing to rewrite?
To update.
Yes. And update.
Yeah, on anything that we felt was missing.
They simply set their own questions and answered them correctly.
Let him first answer these ones.
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
I'm not opening up for...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable, I'll start with you. Centers.
Senteza.
Salongo. Honorable Senteza Salongo. We take your advice on liaising with Ministry of Sports, particularly on the Jokers Road. So we shall do that immediately. And of course, also the approach you suggested, we shall.
Can you use effectively the microphone?
On the report, on the approach you suggested, we shall adopt that too. The question on unallocated land, and you're talking about the 89 square miles. That 89 square miles also includes the land. Also includes the land that was donated to us by the local governments, where, as we talked about it earlier, we need the financing to do the titling and the border markers for those. In relation to then Honorable Fortunate, I believe the same answer on the 89 square miles does suffice, because some of this land we still need to ensure that government gives us the money to title it and survey it. Now, the issue of overlapping titles in Mukono.
Perhaps on that one, we have 89 square miles. Can we be able to know how many are titled, how many square miles are titled, and how many are not titled?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, respond.
Yes, and that is part of the report you also asked us to give you our titled land, untitled land, and the.
So you're going to avail it in writing.
So we shall avail that also in writing. Honorable Fortunate, you also talked about overlapping titles from Mukono. We took a step through Ministry of Lands, and those were cancelled. The titles were cancelled because some Mukono District Land Board did give overlapping titles over the UIA title, but we cancelled that through Ministry of Lands and Support.
But before the cancellation, are you in occupation of that land, or the people, the other side, who also claim ownership, are the one in occupation?
The land is occupied by our investors,
yes.
But now, there is another title on them, on the land, so we have to cancel any title that was not...
Was the cancellation well investigated, or you just instructed that they cancel?
No. It went through there was even hearings conducted by the Commercial Land Registration, all those did, and he did advertise. So the cancellation was not done by us.
So also the other parties were given due...
They were all given. They were all invited.
Honorable, you were part? Okay. Let's proceed. Please answer your questions.
So, Mr. Chairman, we do not cancel titles. The legal entity to do that is through the Ministry of...
So the other parties were also given a fair hearing?
Everyone was given a fair hearing. It was even advertised in papers and all that.
Has anyone gone to court after that?
Yes, of course. This is some of the cases we have in court.
It is part of the case, some of the cases?
Yes, that we have in court.
Okay.
And then for Kisoro Industrial Park, we already completed... we are now in the development committee of Ministry of Finance. It's at pre-feasibility stage, which is the next meeting, hopefully is in the first week of August. Then from there, we shall proceed to the development committee to consider the full feasibility. Before then, it is allocated a code, and we can start the process of infrastructure development. Yes, then the other one on, I think the ones asked by Honorable.
Maybe I also asked you a specific one. because there's delayed development generally of these industrial parks. The land is there. Even where there are no disputes, there's delayed development.
Yes.
And when we look at the report on investment authority, a lot of money remain unutilized. Delayed procurement. Now, the first question is, are there contractors on these industrial parks? Like, for example, Namamve, COSASE, have you contracted them? Have you paid them? Or the money is still pending on your accounts?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Allow me to come to it also when I'm responding at the end.
No, respond to it.
Respond to this one?
Yes.
Okay. The major one you'll be talking about is the Namamve Industrial Park. Mr. Chairman, at the beginning, I did report to you that the park is at 74% at the moment. The delay is occasioned by the lack of approval of the wastewater treatment plant by NEMA. We got preliminary approval from NEMA, and based on that, the designs and all that were done for that. But for us to proceed to construction of that, NEMA has to give the final approval of the wastewater treatment plant. We believe that once that is done...
You have the latest correspondence with
Absolutely.
NEMA? Maybe avail us so that we are certain.
Yes.
We don't want these parks to delay.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman,
maybe
we
if what do they want from this committee in terms of those delayed procurement, delayed infrastructure development? What do you want?
Are your prayers?
Where do you want us to aid you so that, because you are beneficiaries, we are beneficiaries. So where do you want us to aid you in order to fully implement what you want to put in place?
Mr.
Yes,
Chairman. Thank you for that question, Honorable. For the Namamve part is really supporting that NEMA approves the wastewater treatment plant, because once that is done, you will see a very huge difference in Namamve within 2 to 3 months. It will be almost complete. Then for the other parks, Kapeka and Mbale industrial parks, the project manager is here, could give you a brief on the status now. But the major issue for that, because the government of Uganda financed JOU money, it has been the release of the money for the infrastructure for those projects. So really for you to support us, that the money is released for the infrastructure project. It's mainly that on those two.
Where is the project manager for Kapeka? And give us a quick status update.
Switch on.
Switch on.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Infrastructure development for Kapeka Industrial Park, which is approximately 319 billion, has progressed up to approximately 25%.
Since when?
Since 2023.
How many years ago?
That is 3 years. That is 3 years now. But the funds that have been submitted for project development are approximately 28 or 29% of what has been given for the project.
Okay.
And then for Mbale as well, it has Lot 1 and Lot 2. Lot 1 is for the roads component, and Lot 2 is for the water component.
Mbale, isn't it that one which was taken over by frauds?
Yes, at one time, yes. That's in 2022, yes.
How did you rectify it? Are the investors safe, those being placed in Mbale Park?
Yes, they are safe now. There is a new project to expand the river Nachili Shore, as the Director General explained, and it's to make sure that we don't have the floods which are coming from the mountainous areas. So Lot 1 is at 49%, and then Lot 2 is at 20%, and also the amounts of money received are approximately around 28% of the contracts.
Okay.
So Mr. Chairman, the other two parks, they move with the amount of money that has been released. So based on what has been released, the infrastructure has been done. So we hope for more money for those parks.
When you talk of hoping for more money, do you have those respective correspondences
We have all of those, Mr.
You
Chairman.
will share with us which you have sent to Minister of Finance requesting for the relevant funding.
Yes. Yes. And
I think they will be very important for
we
us.
count on you to support us, Mr. Chairman. For the Honorable's questions, I think most of them were answered while we were talking. Honorable Lois, I believe. We are going to provide that land bank that you talked about with the titles.
I'm Logose.
No.
Logose Sarah.
Oh, sorry, Sarah.
Logose Sarah Annette.
So thank you, Madam Logos. So we shall provide that, the land, and where we have titles, we shall give you the copies. In terms of your other question again, on what are we doing differently, particularly on the cases, we decided also to engage with the Office of the Attorney General, and to settle most of these cases out of court. Those that the Attorney General and Uganda Investment Authority are handling a few cases of those out of court. But some of them are also of other investors who actually are not doing the work on the ground. So they have land, they are not doing, so we have to withdraw that land. And I think that's also a concern of the committee too. But once the mediation has not happened, we just go through the court process to allow that. But as much as possible, we try not to escalate them to court. If they can be sorted before that, that is our goal. Honorable, you made from Barara. Yes, we take that on through the support of the committee for us to enhance the infrastructure development in the parks and open up new parks. We believe that it will support the employment and value addition agenda of the government. The other question again is on status of parks. We are going to send that to you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Mara, yes, the question related to how are we securing titles for the land, particularly for you in Arua, in Lira. Recently, I was called by the RDC and LC5 last week, actually. So following the few days of the LC1 elections, I've been asked to go and pick the title for Lira. And then, of course, it's part of the Lira projects are part of the development.
So the title for Lira is with who?
No, the district, local council, local government.
They approved the land.
They approved, and they.
What size?
500 acres.
500 acres.
Yeah.
And they have processed title in the names of Uganda Investment Authority.
Of Lira.
Of what?
Of Lira, the Lira local government, whichever it is, and then what I'm going to do is pick the title with the transfer form so that we can now.
So the title is the names of Lira Land Board.
Yeah.
So you're going to pick a title and transfer.
And transfer. The city, the council, the district council has already sat and already prepared all the necessary documentation for that. So it's now on us to pick it. But this was last week.
So you have promised that you are going to pick title for development. Hope you have earlier plans for such titles, because when we are seated here, the issue which is at the center stage, it's land and figures. For figures, at times we waive because at times we will come and see how to twist your things. But for land, we know that if we have our land, because for land, no one will grab it in his pocket.
Yes.
For money, you can put it in your pockets and you disappear. But for land, we are going to be very serious on this. If you are picking a title from a leader, want now development.
Okay, noted. Honorable,
absolutely.
Honorable Dr. Batu, 1 second, and then Honorable Musisi, 2 minutes. Then we conclude. We must find a way of concluding this meeting.
Honorable Chair, I'm just still on inconsistencies, particularly utilization of government warrants. If we go by the Auditor General's report, page 11, you should be there accounting. Page 11, Auditor General's account.
You continue talking.
Report. Page 11, that is 3.4.3.
Are you there?
Capital development.
Page 11.
Are you there? Capital development. Now, Auditor General saw that your capital development warranted was 520 million. And the amount spent is 508. And said you spent 98%. This is what the Auditor General saw, an expenditure of 500 million. Now, in your books, if you go to page 59 of your reporting, the very schedule showed us the summary, the statement of stores and other assets. From that statement, we can see your expenditure on capital development. That is additions during the year under audit. Are you there? The total down is 414 million. Am I right? That is different from what the Auditor General saw, 508 million. That reporting is different. Why is there a difference between what the Auditor General saw and what is being disclosed to us as a committee?
Wait to answer, let Honorable Musi finish.
Mine is not, it's just a clarification. You may need to answer it when you're giving the detailed feedback on the cases. In your last statement, you mentioned that there are some cases where the AG has advised that you settle them. And it would be interesting to have that detailed breakdown that these ones we settled as a result of this advice from the AG. So you may not have that, but we may need to get that in the cases. Yes, in the issue, the one which is coming out possibly later today. Thank you.
You let her respond, then you finalize. Let her respond. We have to move. Respond.
Yes, Chair. And thank you, Honorable, for scrutinizing. The first one was on social benefits, why it raised from 5 million to 15. I think everything is by God's will. Social benefits, these are expenses. We support our staff in case of challenges. During the year, we lost our dear senior engineer, Echatu. We had to send him off. Our deputy HR lost a mother. We had to send her off. Our acting deputy communications lost a daughter. We had to come in. Our senior IE promotion lost a father. We had to come in. But everything is by God's will. Those are the costs. When you go to professional services, Indige's presentation is repeating how most of the cases during the year we managed to settle them. These were part of the professional. That's why you see we had to hire so many services to help us. Secondly, that was the year, a transition year from NDP3 to NDP4, when we were preparing our strategic plan and aligning it. And in most cases, when you follow government, that year of strategic plan and NDP4, the 10-fold strategy, we need a lot of professionals. And that's why if you went on the National Planning Authority, UIA strategic plan was rated as the best in this country.
Okay, let's get Director. Any unanswered question?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last unanswered one was related to his.
Let him respond.
On the inconsistency on page 59. That's what? 11 and 59. I hope you are noting that. Yeah, the question is page 11 and...
Yes. was an estimate of 508, but throughout the audited, you see the audited accounts, the true figure is the 414. The other one, you see, it is approximately 0.58 and 98%. But now, that was at draft. But the audited accounts, when you go to the financial position, when you check the depreciation schedule, now the true figure is the 414. And that's why it is detailing the category. Thank you.
Nkunyingi, Member of Parliament for Chadondo County East. I'm the chairperson of this committee.
Good morning. My name is George Msisi. I represent the people of Chira. I'm the deputy chair of this committee.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Paul O'Mara. I represent the great people of Otwe County. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Julius Nachi, the Member of Parliament for Budadiri East in Sirongo District.
Good morning. My name is Samuel Bejira. I'm the Regional Youth MP for Central.
Good morning, Chair, and our guests. My name is Baton Ben Koreang. I represent the Northwest constituency.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Bakashabo Christopher, representing the people of Mbarara City North.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to you all. My name is Gerard Nangoli, Member of Parliament, Elgon North, and a member of this committee.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Mlemia Ismail Sowed, representing the people of Busia Municipality.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Salongo Richard Senteza, regards from Lugazi Municipality.
Clerk, lead.
And members, you're welcome. Our guests, my name is Wira Webby. I'm the clerk and secretary to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Stephen Ilira. I'm a senior assistant editor of The Answer.
Good morning. My name is Jasper Keta. I am from the Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. I'm Damali Kakumba Chijambu, Senior Auditor of the Auditor General.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samuel Lukonda. I'm from Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Donald Mugisha, an economist to the committee.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Watua Munir. I'm a policy analyst attached to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Roy De Ukrishas, CID attached to this committee.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Jamoges Frederick, CID attached to this committee.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members, colleagues and guests. My name is Roishe Rwendu Rumusa from Office of Lead of Government Business attached to this committee.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Okomo Henry. I represent the Ministry of Finance.
Good morning, Chair. Detective VIP Vironji, CID attached committee.
Let's hear from our witnesses of today.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members. My name is Robert Mukiza. I'm the Director General, Uganda Investment Authority.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members of Parliament. I'm Martin Mahanji. I'm the Deputy Director General, UIA.
Praise God.
Amen.
Honorable Chair and members of Parliament, I'm CPA Robin Anawire, Director Finance and Administration, UIA.
Honorable Chair, and honorable members, I'm Engineer Vinamagyo Felix, Project Engineer, Kampala Industrial and Business Industrial Park.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members of Parliament. I'm Nagasha Christine. I'm the Director for Industrial Parks Development, Uganda Investment Authority.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members of Parliament and all guests. I am Genevieve Akello, a Tiang Senior Legal Officer and representing the Corporation Secretary and Director Legal.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members. Fred Kakoza, Deputy Director, One Stop Center.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. Elia Kawireku, Deputy Director, Domestic Investments.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. I'm Wambali John Chamacha, Head of Internal Audit.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Justin Nagaba, Director, One Stop Center.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. I have to end this meeting.
Chair.
For Uganda Investment Authority, we shall invite you as and when we need you. As and when we need you. Thank you for honoring our invitation. And thank you, colleagues, for this engagement. We are getting a lunch break of 30 minutes, and we come back for Uganda Insurance Regulatory Authority. So another 2 hours.
Allow me to have this quick one.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Okay.